Shalom, family. Glory be to God, and blessed be the Lamb forever. Where are we going with all of this? You can't see that something's wrong. I know I see something's wrong. Something is terribly wrong. They banned Jesus in a certain hamlet city in Britain. I expect for this trend to continue worldwide. Just be ready. Be prepared. They will come. They will come. But like a follower of mine said, the white guy, he said, you can try that shit in Britain. And we know who's behind it. And so do we. We know who's behind it. We've seen this playbook before. It's the same people who got Jesus and God out of American schools. Then shortly after that, from every courthouse in the city. That's what they said. He's both myth and dead. So why would you go through such lengths to outlaw and persecute those who worship something that's dead and myth? A lie. Why would you do that? Unless you are the liar and you believe in Jesus. That's what it really is. You believe in Jesus, whether you want to accept this or not. This is why you respond the way you do. You trying to outlaw Jesus in Israel? Well, situation. So they're outlawing Jesus in Britain, Israel, but like one of my followers said, well, try that shit here and you're going to meet up with the bullets. I say, Steve, I told you, it's already too late. It's already too late. The time to stop this was 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and now it's too late. It has spread like a virus. It's spread like that tubular underground plant that spread up throughout your yard. Wherever there is a solution, pray tell, there has to be a problem. Would I be correct? No problem, no need for a solution. That's just using straight line logic. You can maybe toss a formula in there if you choose, if you think hard enough. But it'll still be the same thing. It's fairly straightforward. Problem, solution. Solution, meet problem. So what is the problem? You don't think it's kind of weird that you can worship anything said of Christianity, just like you should get out of the mindset of faith. That stuff existed yesterday. There is no more faith. There is belief. No more faith. Just as sure as the voice is in your head as I speak. And speaking of voices in one's head, are we crazy now? Didn't the standard used to be asking the would-be patient, do you hear voices in your head? Well, the ones tens of thousands of miles away, across the globe. Now, here's the next point. In Britain, who wants to ban and anyone else who wants to ban Jesus and what you think is Christianity, which is just belief now. No more faith, belief. No more Christianity, belief. Follow one's belief. What is real? What is reality? And what is reality right now is the voice inside of their head. And it can be there at any moment, at any given time, in their language that they understand. So ain't no more lying to them. He's driven himself mad. But damn the devil. So the people in Britain who lives in the city in which they're trying to ban street preaching, giving Bibles out, talking about Jesus, without without proper permits, laying on of hands, even if both people agree, you can get up to 2 years. Wow. Well, let me help you out. If you're serious about this, the first move you should make, or you stand against. Nowhere else to go with this here. You either believe or you don't. And it's a belief based on more than a intelligent, educated choice here, because you're no longer ignorant. See, you have to understand something. You have to understand one of the primary objectives, which we have achieved, by the way, is to take away your ignorance. See, there is nowhere else to go. You will choose one or the other, and you will do so openly. What they believe is the voice of Jesus inside their head. Will you be offering them pills? Will you be offering them a therapy? Even though, here's the irony, you hear the same voice in your head. It's driven you mad. Not it, but your resistance, maybe. I don't know what drives you. But like I say, we live in a strange world. But it's too late for that now. Okay? So at any rate, where is all this going? You are driving yourselves insane. Don't you see this? You're driving yourselves insane. You're not going to burn all of the Bibles. You're not going to commit wanton acts of violence against the Christians in Britain, not even in that hamlet. Let me tell you something about what you think the so-called Christians at this point. They expect anything, a bit more bravadic. In other words, let me ask you this. Will you be putting me on the cross? Will I be bearing your cross? Or shall I be bearing my cross? It seems to me somebody around here is going to wind up bearing the cross. Will it be me? Or will it be you? Or will I be bearing your cross for you? Because one of these three things are going to happen. But I can tell you what ain't going to happen. I won't be bearing a cross. Neither will I be going up on a cross. Neither will I exist within me as was within him. He showed you mercy. A thought, and y'all and the people of that time all fall down dead. They just do. Yet he decided he gonna go get stabbed by your pointy spear, and took it to the grave with him. Ain't that something? Well, that's been done already. I'll not be bearing a cross. Oh, and if you're able to get me to bear a cross, hell, at this point, didn't you get the news? You can outlaw the Bible. It's done. Do not you get the news? You need one book at this point. One. The one at the very end. If you want to, burn the rest. Because that's the one you're living in. And that's the one that's pertinent to your life right now. And the lives of your children. And that of your children's children. That's where we're at. So, if we're going to do this, let's not be anal about it. Let's be men about it. Because, really, I've been saying for 90 days at least that we're on a warlike footing. You can't leave here. You... Not only is it a prison, but it's a crime scene. Earth is a crime, one big ass crime scene. And the sheriff and the judges have showed up, and and they're not liking what they seeing. That's it in a nutshell, if you believe in nutshells. But so, will I be bearing a cross? Will I be screaming things like, Father, why have thou war? Like the last war and the war before that war and the war before that war and the war before that war. It's all the same. It smells the same, sounds the same, acts the same, and there's never much glory at the end. Just a lot of blood and the smell of feces and the smell of diesel and the sound of the dying and the silence of the fear. That's it. And you came to find glory. Well, you'll find no glory here, only death. One God, and that's the end of it. The way we look at it is if we were fair. We invited all of the other gods. They never showed up to the challenge. This throne, when we arrived, was empty. You thought it was filled. But we looked at the situation. How can it be one throne and rotating occupants? These rotating occupants are their false beliefs and false gods. They all use the word white supremacy. You invite us head on. Now we won't have a look at you. We won't have a look at you. So, just like I said earlier, you should gird yourselves for battle. If that's the line that you're going down, then gird yourselves. Prepare yourselves. Look around you at everything you love. You should do that right now as a matter of fact. Look around you. Have a good look. Hell, if you want to, step out on your front porch and smoke a cigarette and take it all in. You see the nice street labeling? Because you and I both know that you're not mind supreme. In fact, I have but one. I don't even bow to the angels. I fear them. I have one, just as you have one for all purposes of this discussion. And right now, it is me. Now, you don't like this kind of talk because it sounds arrogant, doesn't it? But only I can talk from this position. But I don't mean to be arrogant. I mean to be understood. Not arrogant. Understood. And so there won't be any mistake about your moves, about what you're doing. So it's quite clear. Encourage yourselves from a battle, but in all seriousness, over what? What exactly are you fighting for? Don't you realize that the air you breathe belongs to what you hate the most? How will you survive it? The poison, I mean, that is surely going to become if you keep inhaling it, and it's from the very thing that you hate. I would just start breathing on my own, have some dignity. You don't need to get yourselves Bibles, not for the purposes of you believing in God or Jesus or not, but it will keep you up to par as to what's really happening. You are living in Revelation, the last book of the Bible. Okay? Start right there. And you will quickly see that none of this bodes well for you, or anyone else who would practice a ideology that will harm anyone. If you practice these things, then you yourself will be harmed, either as an individual or as an entire state, not by your standards. I do what I do. And I ain't willing to do none of it twice. This is like the last one was a one-timer. This is a one-timer. You're not going to do this again. So what that should tell you at the very least, whether you like it or not, there will be some finality. Some finality. Either all of me will be dead, or all of you will be dead. And then there will be peace. You get what I'm saying? Let me say this again. It is out of control. That's okay. That's how they live. Cool. All we're saying is you have options. Separation, in which, well, these are all of them are bad. Separation, I need to be straight with you. You know what? I'm just going to be straight with you. Separation, and you die. Refuse to separate, and you die, but you've managed to take a hell of a lot of just reclaim the land. Most of them will be dead either by disease or violence, guaranteed, because there's no more buffer. No more buffer. Listen, that's the stone cold truth. But anyway, I want to wrap this up. Those of you who are ready for battle, then be ready for battle. Okay? And you should understand what you're going up against. I'm not talking about it, I mean individuals. They come and go. No, this is something bigger. In fact, that's a couple and you plot. And you will do these things, never understanding that you've been infiltrated and that they will be seen and they will be acted upon. This is what you will do next. Guaranteed. You'll know why you will do these things? Well, the same reason you will lose this war. You can't stop thinking like a human. Enjoy the rest of your night, folks. I am Source. I am 7. I am 1.